Ricky Hatton, now the power-punching southpaw, working his way back into the mix. He will try to do so against Nasser Athumani. 38-year-old Nasser Athumani. He's only been in the U.S. for the last 4 months. He's from Kenya. He's coming off a 5th-round knockout loss to Tim Bradley. That fight against Bradley was the first fight he had in the U.S. In fact, he's just 1-4-1 when he fights outside of Kenya. He was knocked out in all 4 of those losses. And there's Juan Urango. Last summer, he won the vacant IBF 140-pound belt. It was in controversial fashion. Now he's trying to get back to title contention. 17-1-1, 13 knockouts. He's built like a brick house, 140 pounds, slugged his way to the headlines early in his career. In fact, his first 10 fights in his native Colombia and then in Spain, he started his career 10-0 with 10 knockouts. But our attention should go to his most recent work. It was last June when he claimed that IBF belt, fighting Nofel Ben Rabah in a championship fight on Friday Night Fights. And many, including Teddy and me, well, we thought he actually didn't win the fight. He was the aggressor, but wasn't effective against the slick stylist. Still, he took the decision. It was a close and controversial decision. Then this past January, he fought unbeaten Ricky Hatton in Vegas. Hatton was not in top form, but Juan was unable to really take advantage. He did get to Hatton's body midway through the fight. Still, in the end, Hatton cruised to an easy and somewhat lackluster unanimous decision win. It was the first loss of Urango's career and a real missed opportunity. Of course, that set up Hatton for his mega fight against Castillo. It is a scheduled 10-round fight, and the referee is Sparkle Lee. Sparkle Lee, she's making her national TV debut as a referee. She's been a referee for 7 years, but this is her big moment for Sparkle
Obey
to
my
shine.
commands. I want a clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck. Let's go.
Sparkle Lee has a twin sister, by the way.
Juan Urango has a twin brother. And the ring experience shows Athumani, 13 years of pro, but Teddy, he has not faced high-level competition. He has taken an easy road in his native Kenya, and when he has, we showed you the graphic, when he has stepped outside of those cozy confines, he has been taken out 4 times, and this is a real uphill challenge against Juan Urango.
Well, as you said, only the second fight for Athumani in the United States. First one, his last fight, did not go well. He was knocked out. And as you said, all his other fights in Africa or in Denmark for Athumani. All 4 losses for Athumani have come by knockout. 2 southpaws in there right now. Not something that you see every day of the week. Urango, it should be said, obviously he has been competitive with the level that Athumani has not been competitive with. Matter of fact, that Athumani has been knocked out by. So it seems to be a night that maybe might be an easy one, or definitely a favorable one for Urango.
Urango comes in with a 3-punch combination, just missed with the right hook, now works behind the jab.
Athumani has the reach, the height advantage. He would be well served to stay outside away from those right hooks and left hands of the shorter but stronger Urango. You can see right now where Athumani is going to be caught. I think he's going to be caught.
So he got caught there.
And right there, as I just was saying it, you could see where he's going to get caught as he pulls back straight up, as stiff as a post. He'll get caught with one of those looping shots, and it'll be a matter of seconds before he's caught with one of those looping shots again. This is where being tall is a detriment, because you stand straight up, you pull straight back, and that's what happens. Looping shots find you. Urango will serve himself to place one to the body now.
Athumani is trading with him and actually scored with a left hand. And in fact, Urango stumbles back. He's hurt. What a first round.
An amazing round right here and an amazing turn of events. But how often do you see that, Joe? when a guy looks like he's on the verge of a knockout, he's the big favorite going in. Things are going according to plan as they work for Urango. And all of a sudden, he gets a little careless, and the next thing you know, things are not going according to plan.
Urango stumbles back again.
And one thing for Athumani, he's built like a puncher, wiry guy, and right now getting full leverage in all his punches.
Fabulous start to Friday Night Fights. Oh boy, Juan Urango went hunting for Nasser Athumani. He found him, scored the knockdown, but then it was Urango who finished up the round in trouble. Teddy, you can see being tended to by Stacy McKinley in the corner. What would you be advising the recent world titleist right now?
Well, right now, obviously, the first thing you have to do is a physical thing. You have to make sure you get cold water on the back of his neck. That seems pretty simple. Obviously, on the top of his head, get his senses back together and let him know why he got caught. He got caught down the middle with some shots. Matter of fact, I'm hearing from the producer that we're going to get a peek right now in the corner, and then hopefully we'll get a peek at the replay of why they have to put ice on the back of the neck of Urango. Right there is Urango scoring the knockout over Athumani. Again, a looping shot as Athumani steps back and stands too tall. But now you can see the power hand, the left hand of the southpaw, the hand that's behind him that he can pivot into, that he's able to deliver and hurt Urango with.
So what an interesting opening round here on Friday Night Fights. The recent champ scores the knockdown, but it was Athumani, the underdog, who finishes up the round stronger, and it was Juan Urango who was hurt in the final minute of that first round. Round number 2 scheduled for 10. Back to the jab now for the African native. Straight left hand from Urango. There's a good left hand that sends Athumani back. Right hook almost caught him on the way in. Urango has to be aware of that. Athumani committing to the jab early on here. Urango, his first fight since that world title loss to Ricky Hatton in January.
You could see the opportunities for Athumani on the outside with his natural advantage in physical assets. He's longer, he's taller, he's got that built of a puncher. And from the southpaw position, he can score that straight left hand, the power hand for a southpaw, the hand that he pivots into. He can score it right down the middle with maybe a physically stronger Urango, but Joe, a slow delivered Urango who's a bit predictable. He's always in the same place, and that means you can find them.
Then peppering him with that jab has Athumani in this second round, at least committing to it, throwing out 50 jabs in the first 2.5 minutes. There he backed it up with the left hand and made it a 3-punch combination with the right hand, finishing things up. Urango keeps coming forward.
Again, if Urango suddenly scores another big shot, and I think he will, that's good news for our fans. It's going to come as Athumani stands straight up.
And they trade here at the end of 2. Friday Night Fights in Atlantic City. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you ringside. Brian Kenny, Sugar Ray Leonard, Alfonso Gomez in studio tonight. Round number 3 between Nasser Athumani in the white trunks and Juan Urango, the recent world titleist, in the black trunks. And what a good opening first 2 rounds we saw here this week, as in the first round, Urango scored the knockdown, but Teddy goes 10-9 because it was Athumani who came on strong and actually had Urango hurt in the final minute of that first round. So a rare 10-9 round with a fighter having scored a knockdown, and then Athumani winning the last round 10-9. So we're all even on Teddy's scorecard.
Again, a lot of opportunities for both fighters, quite frankly, for Urango to take advantage of the height of Athumani. When Athumani stands straight up, pulls back straight in that punching pocket, those looping shots, well, they can find them. That's where, again, being tall is a detriment because there's a lot of targets. That's where a tall guy needs to dip a little bit, either get a little bit small on the sides like he did just there, or make sure that he's at the right range, out of the range of Urango.
Got a glimpse of that power of Urango early on here in this third round, but Athumani's been hanging tough.
And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. There's opportunities for Urango. There's plenty of them you could see for Athumani. He's taller. When he keeps the right distance, he can catch Urango on the way in. And again, he can catch Urango as he comes in slowly and predictably. You know, there's a phenomena that happens every once in a while. Same thing in a football game, same thing in a basketball game. You know, you have one team, or in this case, one fighter who is a big favorite. And it looks that way, like it did early on. Urango scores a knockdown. Hey, I'm on my way to an easy gift here. No problem. And he overlooks him a little bit. He starts to think, hey, this is going to be an easy night. And all of a sudden, bang, it's not an easy night. And you know what? Sometimes it could be hard to change those gears for the favorite to mentally get himself ready for that kind of night. I think that's what Urango's dealing with a little bit here right now. You know, he reads these line by lines on the fighters the same as we do, Joe. He sees that Athumani was knocked out 4 times. He figures, hey, I'm getting a gift present here. And he scores the knockdown early, and then all of a sudden he says, hey, no problem. All of a sudden, there is a problem.
We'll talk more about that looking ahead mentality when we return. Good look here from the back row at the Phillips Ballroom upstairs here at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. This was the scene of one of the most brutal TKOs in the history of Friday Night Fights. It's where Antonio Margarito nearly severed the ear of Sebastian Lujan. And here we are now in round number 4 of what's been a very interesting co-feature bout. Nasser Athumani and Juan Urango, who has jumped ahead on Teddy Atlas' scorecard 29-28. But that opening round of 10-9, that's the most deceiving 10-9 you'll ever see on the scorecard. Both men were hurt. Urango scored the knockdown. Athumani finished up stronger, having staggered and stunned Urango in the final minutes of that opening stanza.
Again, when you see an upset or potential of an upset, you have a potential of an upset right here, obviously. Even though it's still early, and I have Urango winning the fight, the guy who's a favorite, former world champion. But there's more than physical components that get involved, Joe, in an upset. Again, no matter what sport, no matter what profession it is, it's the mental aspect. And sometimes it's exactly what a coach warns against. It's the favorite looking ahead and not mentally preparing himself. And right here you see it, not mentally preparing himself for what you should always be prepared for when you step in to any place of competition, especially a place like the squared circle.
Nasser Athumani, 13-year veteran southpaw, lives with his manager-trainer Bonnie Canino in Florida. He's done that for the last 4 months. She came over to Africa for a tournament, met up with him, invited him back, and he's been putting forth his pro career here in the U.S., and he feels he is absolutely primed for a big, big evening. He was very confident. Meanwhile, when we met with Juan Urango to talk about this fight, first comment he made was, yeah, an easy fight, but it's an important fight. But just to even call it an easy fight,
well, right
that's
there is what I'm talking about. That's the phenomena. That's the danger zone that I speak of, is when a fighter starts saying, hey, it's an easy fight. I don't care if it's a football player, a baseball player, a basketball player. I don't care if it's a doctor going into a case in the office or in the operating room. Professionally, it is your responsibility not to say it's easy, to say, hey, I'm prepared, I'm ready, and I'm ready for everything and anything that may come.
he added to that, it's easy because of the preparation he's done, but you got the sense that he was not giving the respect to the 38-year-old Athumani.
You know, we always talk about technique here, and it's always an important element, but here's the funny thing, the straight, more technical punches are from Athumani. The looping punches, those kind of punches, the danger punches from Urango.
Second knockdown of the evening. Will he beat the count?
9. Huh? You finished?
That's it.
He didn't want to continue. Did not want to continue. The referee,
Sparkly asked him.
she did her job. He beat the count barely. His body language was not good, and the referee took it a step further, asked the question, do you want to continue? And it was not a positive answer.
Well, it was great while it lasted, but it only lasted 4 rounds.
Again, it's a funny thing if you're a fan of technique. The technical punches, the straight punches on the outside with the danger for Urango coming from Athumani. The looping punches with the danger coming from Urango, and in the end was the winning solution for Urango.
The knockdown late in round number 4.
Again, we said that his being tall would conspire against him. And you can see right there, being tall for Athumani did conspire against him as he's in that punching area. There he gets low, he gets small, but he becomes tall again. And he becomes tall in the wrong place, in the punching zone. And those looping punches find him. Here's another loop. Look, he gets low, but then he falls out in front of Urango, gets a little tall, and Urango, with those strong looping shots, find the target.
5-time national champ in his native Colombia, who burned it up early in his career, undefeated to a world title win last June before meeting up with Ricky Hatton this past January, and now bounces back here on Friday Night Fights tonight here in Atlantic City.
I guess he's watched some of the other sports, football, different things, and he figures this is a nice look here to get on a cell phone and
a little Joe Horn action.
Do a little Joe Horn action, a little NFL action.
Let's make it official by sending up to the ring to generous Joe Antonacci.
Boxing fans, the time, 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 4. Your referee, Sparkle Lee, calls a halt to the contest. Your winner, by technical knockout, your former IBF World Champion, back on track, Juan Iron Twins Urango.
You know, Joe, on second thought, you know, that might have been Urango's broker on the phone. He might have said bye.
Indeed. Juan Urango, 18th.